Hey guys, in this video you'll learn how to use saturation in your mix. There are different techniques to use saturation to liven up your sound. But before we get started, I've been doing these videos for 2 months now on a weekly basis. And I want to offer you the opportunity to send in your track, a track that you're working on currently, where I'll listen to it and I'll give you feedback on the production and the mixing, so you'll be able to improve your production skills and improve the track as well. There is a link down below in the description. Just click on it to be able to send in your track. But before we get started, don't forget to click on subscribe. Saturation is usually applied on drums, vocals, leads, specific type of synths, pretty much whatever instrument you like. Adding subtle saturation would liven up your mix, will liven up your instrument, which is very important. In this video, I'm going to go over 2 types of saturators. First one is Ableton's native saturator. The second one is FabFilter's Saturn, which is a saturator and a distortion unit at the same time. Now, we have a track here. This track I've been using on pretty much a lot of my other videos, and I've just muted the bass and I've kept the percussive of the drums. Let's quickly hear it so we know what it is. So I've put in Ableton's native saturator on the drum group, on the hi-hat and the percs. So let me turn it on. As soon as I turn it on, you guys are gonna feel a small difference. So there's no volume increase per se because both the input and the output are at 0, but we feel like it's a bit clearer, a bit more present. Now, we're gonna talk about 3 different knobs here: the drive, the output, and the dry and wet. Please note before we talk about these that I've chosen the soft sine parameter. There's many others. I don't want to go into these coloring specifics simply because it gets much more complicated, and for the sake of what I'm teaching you to liven up your sounds a bit, the knobs I'm showing you are more than enough. So let's start off with the drive. The drive is basically the input. Whatever signal that comes in is controlled by this parameter. Now let's raise this by a couple of decibels. We see now it's very, very clear. But since we don't want to be fooled by the fact that the volume is raised, the output option allows us to reduce, say we've raised it 4 decibels, or we reduce it by 4. So like this, we're not focusing on the fact that the volume has increased, it's more present, i.e. it sounds better. We're focusing more on the processing that the signal is going through. What is the saturator actually doing to the sound? So we're relatively at the same volume. I'm just going to turn it off and on. So we see there's a brightness, there's a presence. Just doing this to a specific sound will add some nice clarity in your mix. We want to make sure it's subtle. We're not overdoing it, because if you overdo it on every instrument, it starts becoming distorted. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't feel good. Now, I feel like we still have too much going on. I just want to reduce the dry wet, make it a bit drier to have less of this process signal affecting what we have. So I'm slowly going to reduce to 100% until I like a nice medium. Let's say about 60%. Let's do on and off. That's it. That's the only thing you need. You might not hear this on cheap speakers. So if you have good headphones or good speakers, you'll kind of hear the difference. And again, it's very subtle. It adds very small flavor, color to it, and that's about it. The second option we have here that I use, these are the 2 ones I use all the time. There's other ones I use once in a while, but these are the main ones I go to often. It's quick. I know how to use it very quickly, and it makes all the difference in the world down the line. So it's FabFilter's Saturn. Let's open this up. Oops, here we go. Now, the main setting I automatically go for in terms of adding a subtle presence to the sound is right here. All around saturation, gentle saturator. Now, you're not going to hear much of a difference because the drive is a bit low. So now it's on, off. You still hear it being a bit more present. On some sounds, I just leave it as is. And in this case, I want to raise the drive just a bit. Maybe raise a bit of the highs a bit. Yes, I like the way it sounds. We see there's a clarity, there is a burst of presence in it, and that's about it. Saturn could get extremely complicated. You could distort the sounds and come up with really a lot of creative stuff, and you have so much control over all the different frequency bands. So make sure to watch a tutorial strictly about all the function of Saturns if you want to, but the point here is not how well you know Saturn. It's simply to add a bit of drive, a bit of juice to the sound to make it stick out. Remember, don't use these techniques. Don't push the drive all the way up here and say, oh wow, it sounds great, so let me use it on every sound I have, because you're just going to destroy your mix. Everything's done subtly. Light changes here and there is what makes a song sound mature and developed properly. So guys, this is pretty much it. Again, any comments, any topic ideas you have, please mention them in the comments below. And don't forget, there's a link down there in the description where you could send me your track. I can give you free feedback both on production and in terms of mixing, and hopefully that could help you out with your projects. So as I said, comments, topics are always welcome, and don't forget to share this video and like it specifically, and subscribe if you're liking my channel so far. See you guys soon.